rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call we rally and war, for the coppers will settle our score. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not give by. The fire burns bright, kneeling and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar, for America first will. Rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call we rally and war, for the coppers will settle our score. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not give by. The fire burns bright, kneeling and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar, for America first will. Rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call we rally and war, for the coppers will settle our score. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not give by. The fire burns bright, kneeling and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar, for America first will. Rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call we rally and war, for the coppers will settle our score. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not give by. The fire burns bright, kneeling and strong.
All right, we're live here on the Killer Carl podcast on a Friday afternoon. That's right, Friday afternoon. Now listen, real quick, we've got Tim Skillett sitting backstage. I want to give out the telephone number in case you want to chime in and call and be part of the conversation, because that's important, right? We want you to be part of the conversation. The number is 484 939 98 22. That's 484-939-9822. Now, I want to open up the show, right? I want to open up the show with something that I find this highly disturbing. I mean, you might not, but I do find this disturbing. So we're going to go ahead and go with this real quick. Let me just pull this up. Well, for 1 minute. And I'll bring I'm going to open up Skillet's mic real quick. Right? Because I want his opinion on this. And you know what, Skillet, you live in Florida, so I get it. You might not want to have an opinion on this, but does she not look like the character from Saw? A little too much plastic surgery. The guy on the bicycle.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. So I find this highly disturbing, and I don't know. I don't know why President Trump listens to Laura Loomer, but maybe there's something I don't know that somebody else does. But hey, the phone lines are open, right? So if you wanna be part of the show, you can. This is your opportunity, right? And I'm not gonna yell at you. I might call you names, but that's okay. 484-939-9822. And Skillet, you did a great job today on your update, like always. But let's get to
thanks.
Yeah, let's get to this is scary.
Has had enough of Tucker shit. And yeah, I'm just going to admit it. I sent the president Tucker Carlson's clip so he can see the shit that he says about him. I do. And I want that motherfucker Tucker Carlson to know that I'm the one who knifed him from the front. I want him to know. I'm not talking about physical violence, physical knifing, but yeah, I'm the one that sent the president all your shit, Tucker, because he deserves to see the fact that you are lying about him and you are smearing him and you are saying the most vile things about our country and our president, and you are creating so much chaos.
Can I say one thing real quick about Laura Loomer? It's funny because when President Trump negotiated this peace deal, right?
Right.
Negotiated the peace deal with or the ceasefire deal with Iran. She started trashing President Trump. Her, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, all of them. You can't negotiate with these people. I can pull up the clips. I'm not going to because it's a waste of our time. You can look them up yourself. We can't negotiate with these people. They're not trustworthy, blah, 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 blah. What was President Trump thinking? What if somebody sent President Trump the clips of Laura Loomer every time she trashed President Trump when she didn't agree 100% with everything he was doing?
Right.
And that's kind of what I want this live stream to be about. Right? I don't want to talk about trashing President Trump. I love him. I absolutely love him. He's in a tough place.
Oh,
Very tough place. He's got a lot of heavy decisions on his shoulders, and he's got a lot of people pulling him in a lot of different directions.
Yep.
Right? So this isn't about President Trump. And I did a lot of praying last night. I did a lot of soul searching, thinking. But we're going to finish this out, and then we'll get to that.
You're going to cause the Democrats to take the House and the Senate, and you are endangering our national security by whitewashing this barbaric death cult ideology known as Islam. So I just hope that he knows that, yes, Tucker, there are people out there who actually have the courage to take your drivel and take your bullshit to the president and to stand up against you. I don't know who Tucker Carlson thinks he is. He thinks he's so popular. Even President Trump today called him out and said he's like a third-rate podcaster. I don't know why Tucker Carlson thinks he's so fucking special. He's not. He's not special. He is endangering the lives of Christians, of Catholics, of Jews, and all non-Muslims in the way that he continues to whitewash this death cult ideology and the way that he continues to incite violence against evangelicals and Jewish Americans.
All right, we're going to stop it right there.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Here's the thing.
You got me from the garden today.
Well, you know what, and you know what, Skillet, you look amazing.
Thanks.
You do. You look good. You look like you're out there ready to like do some ecological like you're like you're out there looking for relics in
You
in the Middle East, right? Like you're
you
out there, you're a
you can either garden or go to the skin doctor. But if you don't wear this, you can't do both. So you gotta cover up.
Oh, I know, man. Remember, I'm a pasty Irish guy. I go
Yeah.
outside. I go outside and I
You,
burn.
you bet. You
You
bet.
know, it
Put some
sucks.
baby oil on you at Daytona Beach, and we wouldn't see anymore. It'd be
No, no, I would
you just
fry.
self combust.
I would I would self combust. Hey, Joseph, in on YouTube.
Now you've got this new number that people can call in. They
I
call
do, I
in
do. If you want to
at
be part of the show, you want to chime
484.
in, and we
Right.
welcome it, even if you differ, right, with
Yeah,
my opinion. I'm okay with that because, you know, Skillet, you were part of the conversation between me and my man Bud, which his name on Getter is Keg. But Bud, I love Bud. Everybody knows
sure.
I care about him. I want him to get better. But part of making Bud or Keg, however you know him, better is, you know, I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from Philadelphia. You know, busting people's balls. If you're not busting somebody's balls, you absolutely don't love them.
Right.
And that's just the way I grew up. That's the way I am. So you're not going to take me personally. I come in hot. There's no doubt about it. Right? I have an opinion. I have my views, but I'm open minded. I'm very
Right.
open minded. I will listen to what you have to say. And
Yeah.
if you make a great point, I'll say, hey, you know what? I never thought of it that way. I'm the first person. I will do that.
Yeah,
Right?
call in 484-939-9822. It's great. It's a new service. It's awesome. So
And you know what? You're going to be able to call in on the Panicking podcast because I got to give this to Skillet and show him how to use it.
Yeah. So it's great because I think we're going to be the first podcaster that you can call in on.
Yeah.
You
Especially
know?
on Getter. It's exciting. It's exciting.
Cutting
It's
edge.
exciting. You know, but let's get back to what Laura Loomer was
Laura
saying.
Loomer. Yeah.
Right? Because none of this is helpful.
No.
It's not.
Zero.
It's not helpful because, you know, Loomer was trashing President Trump when she didn't agree with the ceasefire. Remember Palestine? Remember when he wanted to have peace in Palestine and he wanted a ceasefire there? And, you know, Jared Kushner was there and they were all trying to make everything nice and sweet. And she got upset with President Trump then. And, you know, it's funny how these people, they're all pulling, right, from both sides. And
Right.
let me just inform everybody. They're all funded. They all have
an
they
agenda.
all have a economic agenda. Laura Loomer is getting all kinds of money from the Israeli lobby.
You bet.
Absolutely 100%, right?
100%.
Same thing with Mark Levin. As a matter of fact, I have a clip. I'm not going to play it right here, where Mark Levin was rubbing all up on Ron DeSantis for president.
Correct.
He was not a pro-Trumper. Now he is, right? Because Trump's like, oh, I love you, and blah. I could play that clip too, where Trump just salivates all over Mark Levin. Unfortunately, our president of the United States is in a very difficult predicament.
You bet.
I am going to give him a pass on this, right? I don't think attacking Tucker Carlson and calling him a loser and what did he call him? He called him a loser and he got fired because people weren't watching his show. Tucker Carlson had the #1 show on Fox News.
Yeah.
Why Tucker Carlson was fired, Mr. President, is because he was going to expose the fraudulent activity that was done on January 6th to imprison imprison your people that were there to support you.
Right. That's exactly right.
You, Mr.
Mhm.
President. Tucker Carlson is not your enemy. Laura Loomer is probably not your enemy. But you have to realize that certain people, and I'm one of those people, I don't see any benefit to our engagement in Iran. We can see this. We can see the economic data that came out today. Inflation rates going up. Of course, we
Yes.
that. And just everybody has to let this sit into their head for a minute. Is every month that oil is higher, you can multiply that into 2 months of higher inflation.
Right.
That's the reality of it. And you cannot dismiss the low propensity voter. I wrote a Substack today. And I wish everybody would check out my Substack. I actually put a lot of thought into when I write these things.
Mhm.
Try to communicate it to people because I'm trying to come at it from a place where I'm just a small business owner. I have no association with any party, which there's a lot of people out there. They're the people you need to come out, by the way. They're the people that need to come out and vote. The people that are just like, politics don't make a difference in my life. Why should I get out and vote? You need to give them a reason to get out and vote.
Right.
That's what's going to push you over. That's what pushed President Trump over the finish line and all these deadbeat Republicans in 2024.
Mhm.
People have to just realize this. And when you have
But there's and it was disastrous 4 years with Joe Biden, man. I mean, people got hurt. The
it was,
401
but you have to
401
realize the
401k
argument
stuff.
that people make, right?
Mhm.
When somebody says, well, you suffered under Joe Biden for 4 years, this is just temporary. They voted Joe Biden and Kamala Harris out because they didn't want to suffer under this anymore. You cannot discount somebody's financial situation. That's how you lose people. You cannot discount their suffering. People work and they work hard every day and they're competing against these illegal aliens.
Right.
I've been there. I've done it. I know. That's where I come from. Right. So a lot of people don't know this about me. I have a degree in business from Kutztown University. I don't talk about it. I do. Right. You cannot discount. So I've been on both sides of the aisle. I understand where all this plays in. And I always try to come from that place. You can't discount somebody's financial hardships.
Correct.
We've had 4 years, yes, of Joe Biden, depleted people's savings, wiped them out,
Correct. Wiped them out.
destroyed them. Things were getting better.
Mhm.
Oil prices were coming down. We started to see a grasp on the horizon of lower interest rates, housing boom. Then, for some reason, we got engaged in Operation Midnight Hammer. Saw
Right.
people like me. You saw people like Tucker Carlson and certain people going, no, don't do this. Don't do this. After it was done, we just said, okay, this is great. I hope this ends here. I said it wasn't going to end here, but I said, I hope it ends here. And it didn't.
Nope.
Because it's predictable. Right? You gotta look back. It's much like anything in history. Things are predictable. Right? You look back in history, you can see patterns. That's how the stock market works a lot of times. That's how Market Cipher on TradingView works. It's an algorithm that just looks at patterns and then kind of predicts what's going to happen.
Mhm.
And we're here. We're here.
Oh,
The
yeah.
good news is that we can change this. We can reverse course.
Well, Akeem Jeffries tried to reverse course yesterday, Thursday morning. Akeem Jeffries and Glenn Ivey from Maryland, Democrats, sought to pass a war powers resolution by unanimous consent during a pro forma session, which is a Quasimodo small session in Congress that was chaired by a Republican from New Jersey, Chris Smith. He chaired it. All of a sudden, this guy from Baltimore or from Maryland comes up and says, "Hey, I have a resolution that that we want out. We want this epic fury to stop, and we want it to stop."
The Republicans stopped it.
Well, no, and he wanted war power measures supported by his House Democrats that would have ended the Iranian conflict and blocked Trump from taking any further military actions absence of a congressional approval. So during the dark of the night, all the representatives are at Easter break. They don't come back till April 13th. So yesterday morning, Akeem Jeffries grabs his baseball bat from behind his door. He takes Glenn Ivey down to the chambers, and they try to pass this consent through resolution through real quick. Nobody would know until it was done. And Chris Smith gavelled out the session before he recognized the Maryland congressman, or it would have been done. This is how sneaky these guys are. This is how sneaky it is, So everybody's coming at Trump with their knives out, and they are ready to rock and roll. April 13th is going to be a whole new Washington, D.C., and he's going to be jumping over alligators. They're all going to be snapping at his heels.
Well, and that's my biggest concern.
Yeah.
That we have is if we lose the midterms.
Oh, if we lose the midterm.
People have to realize this.
Yeah.
If we lose the midterms, and Joseph, it depends on how it's passed. I think if it's passed with an overwhelming majority in both houses, Trump, it's veto proof.
Correct.
But if it's a slim majority or it's not overwhelming on both sides, he can veto it. Yes. So yes.
He has to understand when he comes back on Monday, even though this guy, he had 3 airmen down. They rescued 2 of them, and they had one that was climbing 7,000 feet up a mountain range in Iran, hiding in crevices until they could rescue his ass, right? You have no idea the pressure he was under, that if the Iranians would have caught this airman, they would have paraded him on TV, drug him through the streets. It would have been Somali for Clinton all over again.
Well,
right?
and he has to realize he was warned about this.
Yes,
he was
very
warned
much
this
so.
was not going to be easy, right?
Yeah, this was
and
not
it's
going to
not
be
over
easy.
yet. That's the problem. That's why we're not going to be able to. All right. So I just want everybody we're going to go back to elementary school. Put your thinking caps on.
Right.
Got your thinking cap on?
Yeah.
So if we could have secured the Straits of Hormuz militarily, wouldn't we have done it before we went in?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially take over that island.
Why didn't we?
I don't know.
Because we can't. We can't. See, people don't realize, and you really have to think about this logically, right? And I know it's hard because this is the problem I find myself in, right? As much as I love President Trump, I try not to put myself in when I'm analyzing things and I'm thinking. It's just like business decisions.
Well,
you've got to detach yourself emotionally.
Yeah, it's like having one supplier. Okay,
Yes.
if you only had one supplier of wood flooring and that guy just raked you over the coals and raped you every time that you went to him to buy a big couple of containers worth of material, and you said, "Screw you, I'm not buying from you anymore," what would you do? Start laying carpet? Yeah. Okay, the Straits of Hormuz is that Greek pass where 300 Spartans could hold the the hold the Muslims, right?
Yes.
At a point, it's a choke point, right?
It's a
Until his
killing field.
Yeah, it's a choke point so that they could raise an army and get people ready and trained up to fight this horde that was coming at their country. Okay, they eventually, after a couple of 100 years, took over Greece for a while, but still, I mean, those 300 Spartans held the line in this gap. That's the Straits of Hormuz. I mean, I don't know, not very many. I mean, everybody knows the story of that, but it's
Yes.
like,
Just go watch the movie 300.
yeah, movie 300, and they have tours there. That's the Straits of Hormuz. So I'm sorry, Europe. See, that's why Europe doesn't want to get involved, because Straits of Hormuz is still going to be there. They have not figured
Yes.
out a way to circumvent this gap. It's
Yes.
a gap.
And that's the difficulty of it, right?
Yeah,
So, and
Iran.
people have to realize
Yeah,
that
Iran has mountains on one side,
yeah.
and Oman and UAE is desert.
Yes.
Who
I want people to think about this. Right. I want you to think about this. If we were to let's just say we wiped out Iran. Let's just say we dropped a
Let's
bomb
just say
and
we-
just leveled it.
Let's say we occupied Iran.
Let's say we occupied it. Yeah, let's say we occupied it.
All right.
People have to realize that there's Middle Eastern countries that benefit from higher gas prices. Correct.
Correct. They don't
And
want
secretly they
don't want
would
zero
fund
gas.
they would fund terrorist groups to come in there and create chaos
chaos.
on the Straits of Hormuz to keep oil prices high. That's
Yeah,
the thing that nobody thought of. That's the thing that you don't realize. And you got to stand back and strategically just look at these things. That's why it's almost impossible for us to secure the Straits of Hormuz. I don't like saying that, but to be
Right.
honest, it doesn't really affect America because we only get 7% of our oil
Right.
from the Straits of Hormuz. It's not
And we
a
get
lot.
some aviation fuel out of
We
that.
get some aviation fuel, but to be honest, we could backfill that, but we can't because why? Oil is a global commodity.
Yeah, and we just built the first. We got permitted in Brownsville, Texas, to build the first refinery in 50 years. So kiss my ass, open up some permits, get some welders. That's thousands of jobs. You know what a refinery is? It's just boiling oil to different temperature levels to make different grade gasoline. Okay, that's
Your
all that it is.
fertilizer comes from that.
Sure.
Your liquid propane
But
comes
what
from that.
because they don't want to get permits because they want to control us. And to control us means to control our fuel. Okay. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. It's crap.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So I hope they negotiate. I hope they come up with a deal where everybody can live with 60 gallons, $60 a or $60 a barrel. They don't want it to go to zero. We don't want it to go to 100. So hopefully they'll come with a negotiated amount, about $60 a barrel. That'd be great. But it's a commodity. Okay. So people say, well, what's that mean? It's a commodity. It means that when the price of oil goes up, your gas pumps go up automatically. They have a 6-month supply. Wherever you buy your gasoline at, that company has a 6-month supply of gasoline, right? Well, they didn't buy gas at $110 a barrel or $100 a barrel. 6 months ago, they were buying gas at $30 a barrel, $40 a barrel.
Well, yeah, it's the same with heating oil.
Yeah, so
that's what people don't realize.
So why am I paying $4.29 for freaking gallon of gas when I should be paying $1.50?
Do you want me to explain that to you?
Because it's a market. It's market driven.
Well, it's not only the market; they're anticipating they have to pay more for that next shipment.
Yeah.
So they've got to backfill that, right? You got to realize this.
Yeah.
Right. That the way businesses aren't in business to lose money. They're just not.
Yeah.
So they're looking at their next inventory and what they're going to have to pay for that. They've still got to maintain profit, but you also have to you have to maintain profitability, and you have to purchase the next batch of, I don't know, let's say gasoline.
Right.
So how do you do that? If the price of oil is going up on your next shipment, what do? Do you keep gas at the same price, or that you paid for it, or do you start to backfill it by raising the price, anticipating you could pay, let's say $90 a barrel, $100 a barrel for oil coming on the market. By the way, it's more by the time it gets refined. We're talking about crude.
Correct.
Right? You're going to, as a smart business person, and you can't blame these people. The job of a corporation or a business is to remain profitable to who? The shareholders.
Right.
Right? That's all they're doing. They're looking at the future. They're looking at the landscape. And you know what? Me just sitting back and looking at everything, this isn't ending anytime soon. It's not. You can just.
I said it's going to last till midterms.
Oh, it's gonna go a little past that.
Yeah, I've always thought that.
Yep. It's gonna go a little past that.
Because the Iranians aren't giving up. They're
at a minimum. At a minimum, I said this is going till September. At a minimum.
Yeah, they're fanatical.
Because you got to realize each month that oil prices are high. Add 2 to 3 months on inflation prices. You already have the feds coming out. You already have the feds coming out going, yeah, we're going to hold rates where they are, and we might raise them.
Yeah, that guy hates American. He's a nut. That guy's he's daring. He's daring everybody. There's
Skillet. I got to tell you,
crazy.
I got to tell you,
he's un-American.
As I sit back, I
hope he doesn't move to Florida.
No, Skillet, as I sit back and I just look at this.
Right.
This is all a setup.
Yeah.
This is
for midterms.
This is a way because the rhinos and the Republicans, they don't want to hold the majority.
No.
They don't. They want to circumvent it. Why? Because they want things to go back to the way it was. Right? Where that they could get elected, they could grift off the American taxpayer, they could go on Fox News, bitch about it, and nothing gets done, and then they get reelected on the hopes that they were actually going to do what they said they were going to do.
I love these guys. I love these guys that are running right now, and they're saying, I hope I get elected. Well, you might lose power. That's okay. I still want to get elected. I can make so many changes. And you're like, you're not going to be able to change anything because you won't have the power. Oh, no, I know how to manage when we're in the minority. I know how to do this.
Yeah, no, the Democrats know how to manage when they're in the minority because they're doing it right now.
Yeah, good luck with that, dude. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, you're seeing it right now. The only people that benefit when they're in the majority and the minority are the Democrats. Just look.
Yeah, because they're mean as shit. Because they're mean. Everybody else has these goggles on that everything is groovy. Everybody's honest. They want to help us. This is why they're in government.
You see, you're giving them too much credit.
Yeah.
You're giving the Republicans too much credit. I'm not as nice as you, right?
Me?
No, they know exactly what they're doing. They do. They don't want. I called into John months ago and I said this. I said the Republicans they don't want to hold power. They don't want to be the majority because when they're the majority. Especially if they win in an overwhelming majority, then there's no more excuses to get rid of or to pass the SAVE Act. You have the Dignity Act right now, which is meant to circumvent the SAVE Act. You have the Dignity Act right now, and you have 26 Republicans that signed on to this.
26 Republicans have signed on this
of shit
of co-sponsors of HR 4393. It's called the Dignity Act. See, sugar words, feel good phrases, and basically, folks, they're going to give 11 to 12 million people amnesty, and that horde is going to rob you blind.
Yeah. So
blind.
It is. And here's why I wanted to come on here today, right? Here's why I wanted to come on here today. People have to realize that we got to stop the infighting. This is what they want. The Lawyer Loomers and the Alex Jones and the splintering of our party is exactly what they want. And the party is splittering because I got to be honest with you. You have to look at the audience of Tucker Carlson. Who are they? They're young people. They're young people. They like Tucker Carlson. They listen to him.
They were
And
definitely.
I don't think Tucker Carlson is trying to hurt President Trump, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to say, hey, Mr. President, you know, you're dividing half of your base by what you're doing. Either explain it, and I got to be honest, insulting people, it does not help.
No,
insulting your base does not help.
No, doesn't help.
It just doesn't. And I
gotta take the high road.
Yeah, I know President Trump has a way of saying things. Obviously, I do too.
He got Nancy Pelosi so mad she was hopping up and down in a meeting, and they got that on video. She was jumping up and down, and video. We've all been there. We've seen our mother just jump up and down in the kitchen, raising hell with you because she just can't understand and believe what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. He has a way of making people go out of their minds, meaning that he's a negotiator, and he's like. Yes. She just lost because I know who's losing her cool, and it ain't me. It's her.
But you don't want your base losing their cool. You don't want to splinter and separate your base. And to be honest, for a couple of bucks, Laura Loomer, is it really worth losing your country over?
Right.
Because, you played the video. You heard her saying that Tucker Carlson is going to cause Trump to lose the midterms. No. That's not what's going to cause Trump to lose the midterms.
No.
What Bibi just did by dragging us into this never-ending conflict, and I'm sorry, it's
because he's in a never-ending conflict.
Yes,
Bibi is in a never-ending conflict. So misery loves company. So he wants us to live like Israel. Well, we're not going to live like Israel.
No, okay? And you have to understand.
We're not going to have Canada shooting 1,000 rockets in the United States. We're not going to have Mexico sending their fentanyl, killing our people every single day. We're not going to have it. Now, Joe Biden allowed that to happen, but he was a moron. Okay, so he was brain dead. And so I whatever. But we're not.
And the reality of it is you have to look at what happened. But the ceasefire deal, I was optimistic about it. I didn't think it would last, but I was trying to be optimistic.
Correct.
Trying to be. But again, I'll just go back to, if you want peace, are you going to start firing rockets into the air into a neighboring country? And have a ceasefire? No, nobody's going to do that. You're going to say, hey, everybody just lay your arms down for right now. It's not like Lebanon was firing rockets into Israel. They weren't.
They are now.
Of course. There were a couple of rockets that came in from Iran when Trump announced the ceasefire.
Right.
You have to understand that there are certain factions of the Israeli proxies that aren't getting the memo. That you need to understand. But what you do know is that the Israeli government knows exactly what's going on.
Well, here's how you know it's
the primary areas that they hit in Lebanon were Christian areas. They were primarily areas that were occupied by Christians. As a matter of fact, one of the areas was where they believe Jesus turned water into wine.
At a wedding. But is the Hezbollah at those places? Is Hezbollah grouped up and shacked up with weapons and things like that in those places? Because, Carl, they had women and children on Iranian bridges and in front of power plants, right? I mean, Trump was a hard spot. He could not
I got to be honest with you.
He could not blow up those bridges and power plants with kids and women on them, okay?
I don't care if Hezbollah was in those areas. When you have a peace agreement, when you have a ceasefire,
that
lay down arms till that is worked out. After the fact,
correct.
You have the opportunity to do whatever you want. But at this point, they knew there was a ceasefire agreement.
Right.
And I said this about Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime and listen, just look back. You don't have to take my word for it. I get it. But look back at every time we've been close to peace. And you can go to the EU in Ukraine. And every time we were close to sitting down and hashing out an agreement, Zelensky was pushed to go and try to launch attacks into Russia. They don't want a peace agreement. They don't want President Trump to get the win. Benjamin Netanyahu is no friend of President Trump. Mark this down right now.
Right, write
No
it down.
friend of President Trump.
Yeah,
He doesn't want President Trump. He doesn't agree with President Trump. He wants a never-ending war in the Middle East to deflect from his own legal troubles. Yes, his own legal troubles. Just go watch some of, you can find him on X, you can find him on YouTube. Go watch some of the interrogation of Benjamin Netanyahu, where he was funneling U.S. taxpayer dollars to Hamas. Why?
Don't know.
Why? Every American should be upset about that. That's my money. That's your money. But he was doing it.
Well, we printed up so much money. It's how it's not worthless is beyond me. I still don't understand why we're not paying $600 for a loaf of bread.
Well,
It's
and
absolutely
unfortunately, that's what the Democrats want. They want you to pay $600 a loaf for bread. Why? Well, because they want a financial collapse of the United States. Why? Because they're in the pockets of China and they're in the pockets of the radical Muslims.
And it's amazing because it's not the Democratic Party anymore. Okay, so we have a fractured Republican Party because we have MAGA. Okay, make America great again. And you have Republicans who don't want to make America great again. They just want status quo where they get rich while being in office. We all know that. We've seen it. It's a fact. And they get away with it because they say, it's not me making the trades, it's my wife making the trades, or it's my husband making the trades. Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi, right? It's not me, it's Paul making the trades. I don't have anything to do with it. Oh, really? Okay, all right. Yeah, sure. So, but you didn't see Republicans wiretapping Nancy Pelosi's communications to her husband, did you? Of course not. But did you see the Democrats who wiretapped the Republican representatives and their correspondence? Emails, telephones, telexes, FedExes, faxes. Did you see any of that? You damn right you did.
Yeah.
Because they had the FBI doing it. How the hell is that legal? So it's not.
It's not legal, but they realize
got a judge. They got a radical judge that approved it. You got a radical judge that approved it. So they're kind of quasi-legal. Okay, quasi-legal. So it's not the Democratic Party anymore. It's some frickin' party.
It's the deep state that has been coordinating with foreign entities, China, the globalists that want to take down America. And the reason that they went after the Republicans is because, yes, we have this Make America Great movement in the Republican Party.
In the party.
Right? In the party. Not all of them, but in the party.
Right.
And the problem is that they want to weed those people out. The Democrats have a specific way of weeding out anybody. And Featherman got through the weeds, and you're going to get occasional ones that get through. Kristen Sinema got through the weeds, right? And who else did they have to get rid of? Joe Manchin. They got rid of Joe Manchin.
Yeah, Joe Manchin. In about a year, in about 6 months, Joe Manchin, there's going to be some sexual thing come out on Joe Manchin. You mark my words. It's going to be something weird, and he will go into the dustbin of history. Look at Sinema, right? Was it already with Sinema?
Yeah.
And with Fetterman. See, I already had people in Pennsylvania tell me about Fetterman, the Teachers Association in Pittsburgh. And it's because I went to a couple of funerals up there and I talked to people that were heavily involved with politics. And they told me, I said, how in the world did you guys continue with Fetterman? They said, well, we figured he would die or not be able to hold office. And then we could appoint somebody for a good part of his 6-year term. Okay. Yeah. We appoint them. They do what we want them to do. And then there's another general election after that time. That was their plan. What nice people. Just such nice people.
Yeah, no, and they have a way. I mean, look at Mandani, look at Eric Swalwell, look at Adam Schiff, look at the Penguin, Jerry Nadler.
Jerry Nadler. So what did Fetterman do? He went to Walter Reed Hospital, and those amazing doctors fixed his head, man. So all of a sudden, you don't see his wife Griselli anymore. You don't see her. You don't see the kids. You don't see anybody, man. You just see Fetterman. He got it. He has it tightened up. But this will be the only 6-year term that he will have as senator, because we will not see Fetterman back again.
Unless I'll be honest, unless he switches to the Republican Party. If he switches to the Republican Party,
right,
I guarantee you he'll pull those low propensity voters off the couch.
Right.
He's got my vote. He's got my vote.
So here it is. The war's not going as well as we had hoped. We got a quagmire. We have the Straits of Hormuz. And you're thinking, wow, the Democrats are really going to take advantage of this, and they're just going to hit a home run. But thank God. See, God, I mean, funny things happen in the stars and the alignment of the moon. These Democrats, they get I think they just get too into themselves.
What the great Rush Limbaugh always said is you give the Democrats, they always push it too far. They always go a little too far.
So
you just step back and let them do it. Now we can pray for this, but I'm not as optimistic as you. But
it's the alignment of the stars. And it's probably the enjoyment of the person who is watching us from the glass container that we're all in. You know what I mean? So we're somebody else's amusement. All these Democrat
That's funny because we probably are.
Yeah, I know. So, these Democrat crackpots all went to Cuba during spring break. They all went over there to reassure Cuba that nothing is going to happen to their communism and that they're going to be all settled. And now you're going to see Meet the Depressed. She was over there in Havana today interviewing the Cuban president, right? And the Cuban president, he got a little upset. I mean, he I don't know if I would have done this. She's got a little bit of balls, but Miguel Diaz, the president of Cuba, she said, I hear you're negotiating with Trump. Is he going to ask for you to get out of office, to make a deal to bring oil and prosperity back to Cuba? Are you gonna have to leave office? And man, he got fired up. He got fired up and said, how dare you? Do you ask President Trump that question? Do you ask other leaders of countries? He says,
a nerve.
I will tell you. Oh yeah, man. And listen, you're just a correspondent. Who cares that you're Meet the Depressed? He'll lock your ass up as fast as anybody else. You know, he said, we are elected by the people. I am elected by the people, by the National Assembly of People Power, right? They only have one party. They only have one party. They only run one candidate.
One party's better than no party.
There's there's no debates.
No, of course not. That's the way communism works.
Right. So
same thing in China, same thing in Russia, same thing in North Korea. It's all the same.
Yeah, and they can't help it. They can't help it. Thank God we don't have to see North Korea when he takes his uncle out and has a pack of dogs eat him to kill him. Okay, because that's what they do in North Korea. In China, you remember the guy who was the biggest Mao's head of the party for Mao?
Yeah, the old guy that he marched out, and all of his friends acted like they'd never seen him before.
And he
turn around, he's like, "What's going on?" They're like, "I don't know who are you?"
Yeah, he paved the way for Mao, or for this guy to be the dictator. And he's like, "Why are you dragging me out, man? What did what's going on?"
Send a message.
And they sent a message that, I'm sure they muffled the gunshot in the closet, right after that. But you will see on live TV on Meet the Depressed on Sunday, this Cuban president, and they will try to explain that Cuba is a republic. that it's run by the people of the island, which is the furthest of the truth. Okay. They tried that was how it was supposed to happen. And they had this puppet president because Batista, when Castro took over the island, they had Batista, who was a dictator.
Yeah.
They had a republic. They had elected representatives, and he was a senator, and he became he became a senator, and then one day he became president. And then when his term was up, Batista did not want to leave office, but he had to because the opposing party was going to kill him. So he moved to Florida. He lived in Daytona Beach Shores. And then the party brought him back to the island. He became a senator again, because you could become a senator again, even though you were president. And then he got the military. They had a coup. Bam, that's the end of the presidency of Cuba. Batista's dictator. That's where Castro comes in, okay, with the revolution. So Cuba has been ruled by a dictator, but it didn't change. So they ran this president. They said it was all by the president. And then one day he had a trained pigeon, Castro did, on the 1 year anniversary of the revolution. He had this dove, this white pigeon dove, land on his shirt, which he trained. It was a religious sign, and they made him king of forever of Cuba. And that's how he became. It was all done by a magic trick, Carl. It was
of
all
course.
It was all.
It always works.
It was always voodoo, hoodoo, and a religious zeal, right?
Yeah.
And they said, the people, who do you want as to run your country? We want you to be king forever. So he was. Yeah. There you go. That's how he did it.
Of course. Of course.
Don't let any sugar words or good feel good phrases try to trick you, because in the end, they'll kill you.
My recommendation, the Killer Carl recommendation of the day, is always sit back and analyze both sides, right? Never take anything anybody says at heart. Sit back and look at the landscape and use common sense, because that's the one thing in America that we've lost.
Oh, yeah.
Common sense. And don't forget to check me out tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah. 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock on the John Fredericks Radio Network. I'll be streaming here too on this Rumble channel, this Facebook, and this X channel, and this YouTube channel. So you'll be able to check me out tomorrow morning. With that being said, Skillet, you're killing it every day on the news roundup, and I love your archaeological getup. With that being said, you need to do the news in that. And here we go. We're going out with a little music that I put together.
Yeah, I like it.
Right? I did the hold on, wait. I'm having problems with it, Skillet.
Oh, see, it never goes as planned. Gotta be flexible.
I like it. Here we go.
We will not wait.
And I dropped the guitar solos in here and used AI to fill in the rest. So I love it. All right, people. Be strong. Be positive. Use your own brains when you analyze things, and common sense. And you'll always come out on the other side on the right place. God bless Donald Trump. God bless America. God bless you, Skillet.
Thank you.
My friend, obviously from Spain. We love you, brother.